What's up everybody, Dimebot here, and today we're going to be taking a first look at Mirror's Edge Catalyst on PC. So first off, I want to go in the options menu and just show you guys a couple things. So you'll notice that as we scroll down, there doesn't seem to be a ton of effects and or options, and you can't really mess with them. This is because, for some god-awful reason, also that needs to be turned off. For some reason, the game will not let you change various things unless you switch to custom. There we go. First off, let's turn off motion blur. Now, I was tempted to leave this on, but it looks bad on YouTube. The reason I was tempted to leave it on is because it's basically a band-aid, but let's go ahead and look at the game. You've got your brightness, you've got your character camera FOV. Let's go ahead and bring that up. It only goes to 90, which is a touch irritating. Resolutions. This is a horrible way to do a menu. Please stop. So it's not allowing me 4K resolutions. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I'll figure it out later. You've got resolution scaling, GPU memory restriction, texture quality, high, ultra, hyper. I don't know what the fuck hyper is. Lighting quality, ultra, hyper. Reflection quality, ultra, hyper. Effects quality, ultra and hyper. Post-press quality, ultra and hyper. I don't... Why? At least it doesn't say epic, I guess. Anyways, it's not a terrible options menu. I hate side clicks. Please give me a drop down. Let's save that. And oh my god. Okay, we'll be right back, guys. We're going to restart the game. Alright, guys. Here we are back in the game. Let's continue with the options menu. I can't believe it made me restart just for that. Audio. Separate sliders. Dialogue boost. No. You've got stereo, surround, full range TV, headphones. Not a bad menu. Gameplay, runner's vision. Now this is the little red lines that'll show you where you're going. You can have it off, classic or full, enemy stamina bars, position, reticle, blah blah blah, user generated content. Now I'll explain this when we get in, but there's several different options to filter out the chaff. And controls. So over here it has a controller for you. You can mess with the mouse sensitivity. Haven't really noticed any mouse acceleration, which is good. And here are your keys. You can rebind everything. You don't have any secondary binds, but really not that bad of a control scheme. Words are hard. The only thing I really have an issue with is this move slow thing. It's like, really? I'm not reaching over for that. Other than that, not bad. Pretty similar to the old game. Now, this is going to be as spoiler-free as I can make it. I'm going to avoid the story stuff, so yeah. So here we are in the lair. Now, this is the sequel to the 2008-2009 game Mirror's Edge, except it has been remade. I guess this is technically a reboot, and made kind of into an open world. This is a first-person parkour game, so I will just warn you now, this can get a little motion sickness inducing, so sorry about that. So we're just running here. I have collected several gadgets because I did stream this. You can find a link to the research stream in the description below. So I have a few toys like the mag rope, which is essentially a grappling hook that you use to connect to certain points, and other things like that. So if you've never played Mirror's Edge before, this game is all about movement. It's about continuing your flow as you run through the world, through a very white world. It's got a very unique aesthetic, I would say. It's very distinctive. Now, this time around, instead of putting you in levels that you have to run through in the best possible time, they have made it kind of open world. And once we get outside of the little lair here, I will show you what that's all about. And talk about maybe some of my problems with the game, because this game is by no means perfect. We'll be doing a lot of wall running, a lot of crazy leaping, things like that. Let's go ahead and get up high here if we can. Ooh, we probably don't want to jump off that. The game's basically all about maintaining your momentum. And I did a terrible job of doing that right there. Of course, rolling to maintain your speed. So here we are, kind of out in the game's open world. Let's take you to the map. Now, if you've played an open world game recently, particularly an Ubisoft one, you'll notice there's a shitload of icons on this map. You have safe houses, you have hackable billboards, you have dashes, which are basically races. You've got me right there. You've got little side jobs you can do to earn XP. I'll touch on that in a minute. Dead drops that you can deliver. Messenger Girl. These are missions for characters. It's a fairly sizable map. I mean, it's not huge, but it's pretty cool. But I feel that, and we'll go ahead and get into this in just a minute, I feel that the open world is one of the weakest points of this game. Another weak point is this. This game has a progression system because everything has to have a progression system. You can upgrade your gear. You can upgrade your combat skills. So, like, for example, I could get graphene weave, or I have graphene weave, rather. Some of these are locked behind stories, but light traversal damage, increased damage from light traversal attacks. You can attack while parkouring, basically. Extended slide, climb efficiency, things like that. One of the things I will talk about is, where is it? Skill roll. This move you've been seeing me do, where I land and roll to not take damage and maintain my momentum. This was a primary move, and still is a primary move of the game, and it was locked. I had to level up and buy it. This is not the type of game that needs a progression system. Not a ton of games, or not every game needs a progression system. Let's find a hackable billboard. Set ourselves a waypoint. Now, you can turn on runner vision or turn it off at your leisure. I like to leave it on just because I get horribly, horribly lost in this game. One key thing with it is it doesn't always show you the quickest route there. But going back to the progression system, I feel that it's very unnecessary. It feels tacked on, it feels artificial, it feels like it's something they did because, you know, it's the flavor of the month, basically. Here we go. Here's something else to talk about. So the game has... that was nerve-wracking. Collectibles. So there we go. They're called grid leaks. I don't know what the hell that means, but they're called grid leaks. And you also have all these other things you can do, like stealing these control chips and security chips. This game has crap loads of collectibles in it. And they often feel like they're just kind of here to be here. I'm not actually sure where we're supposed to go from here, so we're going to go back down. Oh. That's where we're supposed to go. Okay. Turns out my instincts were good. So, I talked a minute ago about, I feel like the... Did we just go in a circle? We just went in a circle. I talked a minute ago how I feel like the open world is a negative for this game, and I'll explain why. I don't see any way to get up that. Ow. Really. Yeah, I don't see any way to get up that. We may let this go. But, it's often kind of hard to figure out where you're supposed to be going, even with runner vision. So it can make what was a strength of the original game, which is finding the optimal path and running it as quickly as you can, maybe something of a chore. It doesn't feel as smooth as it used to. It feels a little more clunky. I don't mind exploration elements in my games, I never have, but this kind of feels like something that wasn't maybe necessarily needed. Now, that being said, the controls still feel as great as ever. They're very smooth, very fluid. You know, anytime you see me die in this video, it's going to be because I screwed up, not because the game killed me. which is something I can appreciate. You know, there's a lot of reaction time based stuff in this game, and this just kind of ends right here. Oh. Well then. You get these really harrowing moments of jumping around the side of a building and not having any idea what the hell is going to happen. And it's great. When this game is... when this game is having you actually do parkour, it's fantastic. It's when it slows you down and does things like makes you fight a bunch of guys or some other nonsense like that. Maybe I should be running off the other wall. Let's try that. Seems like a better plan. Fortunately, as you can see, it's very generous with its checkpoints. Maybe I can just run the whole way? I don't know. What other thoughts on this game? I've streamed it for 3 hours today. I may be a little burned out on it. Okay, I give up on this. I'm done. Fortunately, we can fast travel to safe houses, which I may just do, or I may just leave this place. I don't know how I was sliding down that ladder like that, but hey, whatever. I'm really not this terrible at this game. I just can't figure out how to get out of here. Anyways, the game slows you down for its story, which is not very good. The story's actually pretty laughable. It's well voice acted, but the actors are merely delivering a poorly written story in a competent manner. Oh, okay. Got some kit. Things you can use to customize your runner avatar. We'll explain that in a minute. That's a mission. We're not going to do that. Just going to leave. Let's go see if we can find some guys to fight, and I'll show you what I was talking about with the combat. So as I was saying, the story is absolutely nothing to write home about. The voice acting is competently delivered because the voice actors are pretty decent, but the actual writing is pretty pathetic. I'll have that control chip. Thank you. And a lot of the times it also slows you down. As I said, this game is at its best when you're doing parkour. A lot of the times it slows you down to look for collectibles or to do other things. It feels like kind of a split identity with this game. It's very weird in a lot of ways. There's a zip line right there. Cool. Ziplining never gets old. Oh, hey, look. Oh, it's not a radio tower. I thought it was. Damn. You'll hear this robotic, or this announcer voice. There's this evil corporation that controls the city, and you must be a good employee, and blah, blah, blah. It's very dystopian. It's not very well fleshed out. The story is just very meh. Although I would say maybe if you're playing a Mirror's Edge game for the story, you're doing it wrong. But oh look, recordings. This game has audio logs. We're gonna stop playing that. Thank you. Let's do this dash. Give you an idea of what the actual grid racing is about. I'll take that. Thank you. Things are bloody everywhere. As I said, I'm going to avoid spoilers, but just take my word for it. The story, not good. Voice acting, competently delivered. That's really all you need to know. Gameplay is kind of king here, and it's good. Game runs well. So here we go with this race. So these races are going to task you with making it through in the shortest possible time, and you can have runner vision on for these, but as I said before, runner vision may not always show you the fastest possible way. And I've completely lost the path. Maybe I should have been paying a little bit more attention or turned runner vision on. I guess there's not really a lot else to say about Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I have a very split opinion about the game. When you're actually playing it, doing parkour, it's fantastic. When it makes you fight, when it does all its other nonsense, it's not so hot. We're going to lose this race. Yep. Let's just cancel out of it. Because there's a shiny right here. Yay, XP. I really hate that there's a progression system in this fucking game. I think it's ridiculous. No. Ooh, that was almost bad. What do you have for me?
Hey, maybe you can help me out, Faith. You used to do diversions all the time back in the day, right? Well, nothing's changed. Keep KrugerSec busy while I plant this bug inside WFYO.
Sure. I'll do that thing for you. This will get us a chance to show off some combat at least. Screwed that up. God, platforming in this game is so satisfying though. Alright, so the combat system in this game is silly. So every enemy is weak to a different type of move. You have your parkour moves that you can do by vaulting off of things, but mainly it's going to devolve into dodging around them, kicking them into each other or off of things, and repeat ad nauseum. Repeat, repeat, repeat. It's incredibly dull. It's incredibly shallow. It's not fun. It slows down what should be the primary focus of the game. Running and parkour. It's just an unnecessary system that they didn't even bother to implement very well. It's probably my primary complaint with the game is that this game did not need combat, and they've placed a huge emphasis on it for absolutely no reason, and it detracts massively from what should otherwise have been a pretty good game. I mean, all I'm doing is tapping A and right mouse button and killing those guys. Now I have to run.
Damn, KrugerSec spotted me. I'm out.
So, yeah, you can see combat is just... I will give it one more go. Combat is shallow, dull, uninteresting, superfluous, completely unnecessary, and if it wasn't in the game, I would be much more inclined to recommend it to people. It's
You
just...
used to do diversions all the time back in the day.
I don't understand why it's here. When I first heard this game was announced, I got incredibly excited because I figured we'd never get another Mirror's Edge. And then as I kept following it, I saw them do a trailer about combat, and I started thinking, no, 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 please don't do this to the game. And you know what? They absolutely did ruin the game with the combat system. It's awful. Let's keep this chase going. Okay, I see how it works now. This is a stupid mission. Another thing that's really ridiculous and shows you the combat emphasis is that you'll notice in the bottom I have my health pips, and there's also a bar that will fill. It's my... what do they call it? It's some type of, like, runner focus, but basically, if it's full, and I fill it up by doing parkour moves, I can dodge bullets, because logic. It's... absolutely stupid. But just by doing parkour moves, I become Superman, and bullets can't touch me. It's ridiculous. Hi, guys. Have a kick to the nuts. This is super fun. Thank God I bought the upgrade where I can climb pipes faster. That's ridiculous. I'm done. I'm done with this game. I'm not going to play it anymore. Guys, don't pick this game up unless everything you've seen here appeals to you for some reason. While the parkour mechanics are great, they're not the largest part of the game this time. It's bogged down by a bad story, an open world that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, shitty combat that's forced upon you for absolutely no reason, and repetitive fetch quests all over the map. I guess I didn't mention that enough. All of the quests basically involve going here, getting this thing, and taking it somewhere else. I know you're a runner and you deliver things, but some effort at variety would have been nice. Instead, you know, they just cookie-cuttered down a list of things that are in vogue this month in open-world games and checked it off. So I'm done with Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It looks good, it runs great. That's about the best that can be said for it. If you enjoyed the video, guys, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. My name is Dimebot. I'll see you next time, hopefully with a better game. Like what you saw? Click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Or click on one of these other videos.